All right, so what I wanted to show is how to add um, pre-formatted Word document or web content into Squarespace 7. The issues there would be, when I say pre-formatted, I mean like there's content that would already have bold and italics and actually font families and things like that identified. On Squarespace today, it's not as volatile. I guess I could, as like version 5 and even version 6, there were issues when pasting content. You would carry all of those style those inline styles over from especially Word documents. So this is the best way if you're going to be adding content from any source and bringing it into Squarespace 7. This is how I would do it. First way to do it is I have an application called Clean Text, and this is a Mac application. It is available on the App Store, but it's hands down it's the best one I've seen. There we go. There's some content. Maybe. Okay. Well, it'll work. So right here's a caption on this video. So I'll go ahead and like copy the caption, and I want to get everything to there. Then I can copy that up the Clean Text app and just paste it in. Just by default, it's going to go ahead and clean everything off. So that's cool. But then in Clean Text, you can also go ahead and say clean all, and it'll fix everything. You can also just go through and make things uppercase or however you want to do it. So that's a fantastic app. And then once you get things cleaned up, you can just copy it from here. So here's page content. So now if I paste this in place, it should be pretty much clean and formatted, unformatted, but it's now paragraph text by default. So that's where it says normal. Another way to do it, let me go ahead and actually just trash that block, that text block, and it'll always start out with a text block. Another way to do it is paste as plain text. So if I go ahead and paste my my content in place, it's going to look semi-formatted this way anyway. So and then when it comes in, it's going to be formatted. So it would keep paragraphs in place. Those are not breaks; those are actual paragraphs now. So that's a fantastic way to do it. And we need some more actual garbage. Okay, so here's a blog post on Medium. Medium's pretty clean content, but we could go ahead and grab this, which looks to be, that's an H3. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and grab this content, and I'll keep the image in there too, just to try that. So I'm going to go ahead and Command C or Control C for copy, and then I'll go back to my document. I'm going to go ahead and delete that text block again, and let's go ahead and just paste it in place now. See what happens. So wow, it did a pretty good job of formatting that. I think yeah, see, it'll hold that 3, which is fine, expected, because because Medium is a good clean format, good clean CMS. Then they do have good quality content. Anyway, that's a direct paste. The same thing could be done if we're going to just paste in. So we can see here paste as plain text, and we go in and we just kind of trust that it's going to work, and it'll put everything in a paragraph mode, and then you can begin styling that way. All page titles, whenever I build a page on Squarespace, I always use an H1 for the page title, and then you can format additional content throughout the rest of the page. So then I can go ahead and go through and format, and always try and want to check spelling. I'll always try and consider how the content is going to appear in like an outline format. So when there's no text applied, this is how Google would see the site. Well, not like this, but H1, which is the largest or loudest content of the page. H2 would be the second, and H3 would be the third. So this is kind of how you can do those kind of things. And then you could do like examples here. And then I'll just grab some more fake content. And I'm going to put a new paragraph for each line. And then what I'm going to do is select these and then make those into bullets. So now this is an unordered list. So you could actually give this one an H3 heading. So that's kind of standard formatting on the site. Then when you start adding images and things like that, it becomes pretty easy then. But you know, as far as formatting that content when you're pasting the content in place, that's like an important thing to always kind of keep in mind. Let me see if I have a local Word doc. I'm going to trash that image block. I'm going to save the page. We can actually see what this content's going to look like. You know, pretty basic. Looks just like it did when we were editing it. I'll say edit. Yeah, so if I copy out this section here, let me add a new text block. Paste as plain text, which means it'll strip out all the formatting. When we do that, we're also going to strip out the links. So in this case, these were just recommendations on, you know, hey, by the way, here's a link here, there's, you know, and then here's a link here. So certainly when we would add those pages, let's say that this text right here, this link to Amazon affiliates, just go ahead and cut that. And then I will just highlight that text, click the little link icon, paste that, and then in any offsite link, I'm always going to open in a new window, and then I'll just say okay, and then you can hit enter after that, and that's now linked. Any page, any intersite content links that you want to make. So let's say, you know, this is go home, which means go to the home page. I will highlight that text then, and what we can do is add a link to that. And instead of, you know, going like /home or whatever we do there, what we can do is just find that content in the actual content area. So let me go ahead and remove that, and I'll show you again. Highlight the text, add the link, select content, which means it's pages within the site. Select the page, and it's automatically linked. So that's the URL that it applied there. Pretty easy. Here's some web page content that I snagged from a blog that has, I would assume it originally had like H1 content for like the header. It has a call out, has a little tag. It's a linked tag. That's probably like an H2. This is probably like an H3. So you can pretty much see that, you know, it's pretty well formatted. And then when we copy that and we plopped it into Evernote, this is how it's going to look. So Evernote pretty much has ignored that that's an H2 heading. It just says it's a, you know, 56-point font, and this is Museo Sans font. So this is a good example. So I'll go ahead and select all this entire post and just copy that. And I'm going to go ahead and save this page, and then we'll just go ahead and create a new page since we have a lot of content here to add. And this will be our Evernote formatting example. And if I edit page content, and I'm just going to paste it and see what happens. Didn't do a bad job, but it looks like some things are kind of broken. You know, these probably aren't separate paragraphs. So you'd have to go through and kind of do that. I'm going to delete this block. Let's try it again with pasting as plain text. Looks like it's going to do the same thing. So not horrible. Another way to do it, if you have doubts about that pasted content, I'm going to paste it in here again. You can select all, and then you can remove format, which it's probably going to do this a lot, very similar. So then at that point, we just go ahead and format this document. This would be our H1. Oops. This is a link, so I guess it kept the link in place. I'm going to remove that link just because it doesn't need to be there. Estimated read time. So something like this could be, you know, italic paragraph. Another paragraph. Let's say like an H2 paragraph. H2. So let's make that an H3 then. Oops. So you can see what happens if you don't add a paragraph to it. It'll go ahead and force all those styles forward. So that's how you can do it. So I'm not going to go through and do the entire document, but that's how I would format this text at this point. Pretty easy, but I wanted to at least share that with you. I'm, you know, cleaning up content. Thanks.